Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Becky. Today I'm going to be doing my first 6x8 layout for the album of The Greats for my mother for Mother's Day. So the first the first 6x8 page I am going to be doing is a page of baby cash. You can see I am using scraps. I have already cut out several 6x8 pieces of white cardstock, and on this one in particular I did have this piece of yellow left over as a scrap from the mix-in paper pack from Close to My Heart from the current catalog, and I also had this strip of black that was from the In Full Bloom collection. It was left over from a previous layout, so I am going to be using both of those. They just kind of fit together pretty nicely. I am going to be putting the yellow gingham on the right hand side, and we're just going to layer up this on this side. Now see right there, I just turned it over and I was like, oh, I love this so much better, right? Fooled you. We're not using the back. We're going to be using this other side that's kind of a gray. It's distressed. It's got some words on it and such, but we're not really pulling it in for that. I'm pulling it in for the gray. I think it looks really, really cute. Right here, I do have this piece of scrap in white. I'm going to go ahead and use to mat one of the photos. You can see I had cut some butterflies out of it. And like I said, I am mostly dealing with scraps for this album, and they're mostly going to be In Full Bloom scraps. But I do have some other scraps laying around my desk that will get pulled in as well. So I'm going to be matting both of these photos with the white daisy cardstock. I'm just going to trim them up by hand. Now you can see on the other photo, there's a little bit at the bottom that you can kind of see where that butterfly was cut out. Can you see that? It's not solid white at the bottom of that photo. That's okay. We'll find a way to cover that. We'll find a way to cover that piece up. Look at that photo of baby Cash. He's so cute, right? You should see his hair. Well, you have seen his hair because we did do a layout of it once, and it was sticking straight. It sticks straight up. It's like almost like one of those electric balls that you put your hand on, and then the points go up to your hand. It's kind of like that. So here are a few scraps that I did find. I found this little banner piece. It was already cut into a banner of a zip strip with the light bulbs. I did find a couple pieces of black, and I found this gray. Oh, that's so cute, right? This is a zip strip as well. I am going to be using this. We're going to go ahead and cut it down. And also you can see where I trimmed it originally off of the paper. I did not do such a great job. So right here I am going to be trimming off the excess that I did not quite get. I will be cutting banners in them like this. Sometimes it depends. Sometimes I'll just fold the paper and cut a banner shape into it. And sometimes I'll actually cut up the center and then cut in on the sides. Honestly, I like to do it this way better only because it's faster and I'm a little bit lazy. So now, see right here, that's how we're going to end up covering up the bottom where the white mat wasn't quite long enough. You can see I do keep that little black piece down there as well. I did choose this stamp. It's the Doodle stamp. I'll have this link down below. But I did choose this stamp to use as all of the names throughout the album. So this is going to be one of the cohesive elements that will make sure everything gets tied together at least a little bit, right? Even though I am using scraps and most of them are for the In Full Bloom, I am only on, so far I think I've done 4 of the layouts, and I don't know if I'll have enough to finish all of them. There are a lot of great grandkids. So you can see right here, we are going to go ahead and start stamping out Cash's name. It's just Cash, like money, Cash money. We're going to go ahead and finish stamping that out. And I will end up coloring that in as well. I will use I think it's called the light grays. Don't remember really what it is. It's Spectrum Noir marker, but I can't really remember the name of the color, but I will link that down below as well. It is a very nice gray color. The Spectrum Noir markers are really cool because you've got light, medium, and dark in them, so you can blend them together. I'm not doing any fancy blending. I am just coloring the letters in with gray. Okay, so here's another instance where I said sometimes I cut up the middle. I didn't want to ruin where I stamped, right? So in this instance, I cut up the middle and then come into it not well either. I had to go back and correct, and I'll do that on the other side. So yes, I do the banners 2 different ways sometimes. It just depends on what I'm doing. I will go ahead and put this black piece down. We're going to ink the edges with some black. And then we're going to ink the edges of the black. The black cardstock that I'm using right here, it does have a white core. So yes, I did want to ink the edges of those. I'll ink the edges of the photos as well. Very cute. I think this is going to be an incredibly awesome project. Now you can see there are some things, like there's a sticker sheet over to the side. It has words on it. That is not close to my heart. So even though most of what I'm using on here will be close to my heart, I am going to be dipping into my stash and using some other pieces as well, because be honest, in full bloom is not going to work for all the kids, is it? So yeah, we are going to be dipping into some other things, but also the album, probably this stamp set that says Doodles, or the Doodle stamp set, is probably going to be one of the most cohesive pieces in this album, because I'm trying to use just one collection, but I don't think that's going to work. I think I'm going to be using several, so hopefully it turns out right. In all honesty, I've never completed an album. I do layouts, obviously, and I just put them in albums. And I've made albums with photo placement holders as gifts for people to put their own photos in. I have never made an album, made all the layouts, and, made it that way as a gift. So this is going to be interesting to come up with all of these layouts with the photos that I have, and yeah, it's really fun. Okay, so you can see right here, I am taking a stamp. It is a star. This star does come on that Doodly stamp set, which is also close to my heart. I will link that down below. And I'm gonna go ahead and just stamp some of these cute little stars down around the page. Now up at the top, I will say I kind of messed up a little bit, because I stamped down a star, then I picked it up and stamped down another star in second generation. I did that out of habit because I do second generation a lot, but I did not really want to do second generation on this layout, but I ended up doing second generation on this layout. So yeah, it is a little messed up. Very first layout, already messed up a little bit on it, but that's okay. It's not a... See, second generation. It's not a deal breaker. I still think it's very, very cute. All right, guys, after we do that, I really don't think we do anything. Oh, yeah, we do. We're going to color Cash's name, which is very simple. I'm not shading or anything, like I said. I am just coloring it with this light gray. It matches that branding strip that goes across there with the stars. That branding strip also drove my decision to stamp the stars down on the page. So a lot of times papers or die cuts or anything like that could actually be the driving force behind my layouts. They will actually determine how my layouts take shape a lot of the time, and I think that's really cool. So if I hadn't have found that branding strip and used that, I probably wouldn't have thought to stamp stars down around the page, but there you go, I did. So yes, we're just coloring this in, just no shading or anything. You can even see on that A, I colored outside of the lines, even though I was trying to be super careful. All right, guys, after that, we aren't doing anything else to this layout. Please check the links down below. Order yourself something if you'd like to support my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.